Hi guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a parenting tag from one of the bloggers that I follow, Charlotte Taylor, Right Let No One's Watching. Recently she's done a YouTube video that has been explaining her top 5 loves and hate of parenting, and I just thought it'd be really interesting to do, since my last video was a little bit talking about like how people slate people during like parenting skills and stuff, and I think I left it a little bit up in the air, so I thought today it'd be good to balance the scales a little bit and talk about things that I love and I hate about the whole parenting malarkey, because yes, while some things are annoying, there's so many ups at the same time. So yeah, I've found it, as soon as I saw her post it, I watched it, and a lot of her points I was like, yeah, I kind of understand. So I thought, well, I'd love to join in with something like that, because it just balances the scales onto, if you equal the hate with the loves, then, that's great, isn't it? I'm going to start with hate, like she did, just because I hate being negative about my little boys, because they are lovely most of the time, but there are times where I just think, just leave me alone, I just want time out. So I'm going to be doing my top 4 loves and hates, but I'm going to be starting with hates because I want to end on a positive note as well. And my number 1 hate is constant fiddling. I don't know, you probably, like, kids fiddle with things constantly. It's like, most of the time it's things that you don't want them to be touching. You're like, can you just leave that alone? But you have to repeat about 20 times. That's another thing, just repeating yourself, because they just constantly, it's like they know they can't touch it, they just want to touch it. And I can understand that, but at the same time it's just, give me a break. You don't need to be doing it, it's silly, and it's not necessary. Just stop fiddling with things, especially when they fiddle with each other, like one of them starts tickling the other and the other one don't like it, and it's like, well, just leave them alone. They just can't judge the situation very well, can they? But they do it as kids. It's a kid thing, but it just sometimes it's annoying. It can be really annoying. Number 2 is little me time. One of the things about parenting that gets me down at times is how full on it really is. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mum, so I've got it 24/7 most of the time. Like, yeah, it's hard. It's really hard work. People just sort of think, oh, you're just at home, just looking after the kids, you make things, but really, it's not like that half the time. Most of the time, it's just, number 1, stop fiddling with things, and, it's just, they're getting little tiffs, and they don't want to eat what you give them, and they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. And yeah, I think it can, like when you got it all the time, it can feel a bit like, oh, I just wish I could just like go upstairs and just chill out for a bit, but you can't, because you've got responsibilities, so you get on with it, and usually most of the time it turns out okay, but little me time can sometimes be a little bit of a bugger. I do miss, like, I think that's one of the things I do miss about being not a mum. That time before, like, Freddie was born and stuff, I do think, and then friends that don't have, like, kids and stuff, you just think, oh, how easy it must be for you to just sit around in your house doing what you want to do, but at the same time, the boys bring out so much joy, even though, I mean, they're not terrible 100% of the time, so it's not that bad. Number 3 is punishing. I hate telling the boys off. I hate, when they've done number 1, can you just stop fiddling with things? I hate telling them off. I hate, like, I don't tell my boys off very often. Most of it is just Freddie, no. Look, that's usually what my parenting is. No, with a very stern look, and the look of a mum usually makes them go, okay, I'll stop. But sometimes they find it funny, or they carry on, or they just don't stop, and then you're like, right, that's it, I've had enough. And then usually if I do that, Freddie ends up crying and Noah lip wobbles, because I don't really tell them off. I don't know, my parenting, I'm quite chilled in letting them get on with things they want to do. I'm not on top of them, so I think they're okay most of the time. But sometimes they just don't listen, do they? So yeah, sometimes I have to raise my voice and get a little bit, and I hate doing that because, I like it when I'm just like, oh, should we read a book, or something nice. I hate raising my voice, and I hate telling them off. It's one of the things I don't like, especially when they start crying or anything. It just makes instant guilt, and you're like, but it was your fault, I told you off, but somehow I feel bad for doing that. How does that work? That's just so unfair. Don't do that. And number 4 is want you as soon as you have left the room. This one drives me up the wall sometimes, because I'm always like, right, does anyone need anything? I'm just gonna pop to the loo. I need to go to the loo. And they're like, yeah. Go to the loo. Undoubtedly, the second your backside hits that toilet seat, you'll have someone either banging on the door, shouting up the stairs, screaming, crying, or a massive loud thump where you just think, oh my god, someone's just killed themselves. And I don't know what it is, but it's like instant fear, isn't it? It's just like, wow, something must have gone wrong or something. But no, you can't, I suppose it comes with me time, isn't it? You can't actually spend a minute on your own without wondering what they're up to, because, my boys are 4 and 1, so I suppose they're a little bit too young to be left for any considerable amount of time to pop upstairs to do a chore or anything, especially as Noah's now climbing the stairs, so it's a little bit, but yeah, it's just annoying. As soon as you just pop off to the loo, it's just the loo really. I don't really go upstairs for any other reason unless I'm doing washing, but then I usually take them with me so they play in the bedroom. But yeah, as soon as I go to the loo, I just hate it when you're just sitting there and you're like, a wee takes 20 seconds? You can't even have a 20-second wee. What is wrong with the world, really, basically? Right, anyway, moving on. Now, on to the loves. Isn't it so much nice to focus on the positive of your children and life and parenting? I just love it. Right, loves. My number 1 love is I love yous. Don't they just make your heart melt? It's just, I just have so many times when they're just like, I love you, mummy, and you're just like, it's just so sweet. And I think it's definitely a manipulation, because they just time it so right. It's like when I'm doing the tea, I'm often feeling a bit under pressure to get it on time, because Chris got to go back to work, or it's soon bedtime, or it's just in the routine. It's just right, I've got to cook the tea, I've got to do it quickly. And Chris sometimes bathes them whilst I'm making the tea, and recently Chris done that, and basically Freddie was just shouting up the stairs. It was like, mummy, and I was like, what, Freddie, what? Because I was just like, ugh. And he was just like, I love you, mum, in the quietest, sweetest little voice ever. And I was just like, oh, that is so cute. And it really brought me down, because sometimes when you get stressed, just some simple little word or gesture can just make you feel like $1 million in that second. And you just feel like, he wouldn't say something like that unless he really meant it. And I just find it really sweet, because you just think, you just find yourself thinking, well, I must do something right. I mean, they wouldn't, I hope they wouldn't just say it just for the sake of it. I mean, they probably say it so that we say I love you too back. And, you know, I always do. But it's just, I love you. It's just so beautiful. I just love it. It's my number one favourite thing that he ever does. Not that I'll tell him that until he's a lot older. Number 2, jokes. My house sometimes is a barrel of laughs because we are quite jokey as a family. That includes my mum, my dad, my brothers and sisters. We're all quite, like, we're very banter. Like, we all just, like, have a laugh and things like that. And Freddie's just, he's fabulous with jokes and stuff. He makes his own up, which just it just cracks me up, basically. He's just so happy and he's so enthusiastic, and I think the more that people laugh, the more he gets into it. Like most kids, the more attention they get off stuff, the more that they do it, and he's just fabulous like that, and he just gives me all his jokes, and half the time they don't even make sense, but they're just lovely. I just love them. Number 3, days out. I love days out as a family, whether it's just the 4 of us or we go with my parents, grandparents, anything like that. I just love getting out the house and taking the boys somewhere different, and just everything seems so much more relaxed when you're out of routine a little bit. Like when you go out or anything like that, you just like, we're just out. You know, anything at home can wait till we get back, and I think it's such a nice feeling, especially when you've got young kids, because I think they pick up on like you feeling every day-to-day stress, especially when I'm at home most of the time. I think for me, I think it's more for me, I think I feel happier when I'm out the house, not because the house is a problem, but because I'm here most of the time. It's almost like going to work, I suppose, for like some people. Like as soon as you leave work, you're just like, oh, I'm out of work. But I suppose that's like, for me, that's me leaving my work. It's just like go out for a day out and we have a meal out or just go for a walk, anything. It's just really nice to just get out the house, and you know, I just love to show the boys somewhere different, and I just want to take them out to places. It's just, I want them to enjoy. I mean, I think it will get better once me or Chris have learnt to drive, because then we can actually go out rather than on the bus to somewhere or for a walk. I mean, obviously we still do things like that then, but I think it would be nice to broaden like our horizons. So yeah, I just love a day out. It's just nice to pack your bag, get excited, you know, it's just so much about it, isn't there? It's just it's nice. And my number 4 is the bedtime routine. I like the bedtime routine, not just because they're going to go to bed soon, but because actually I just really like the whole chilling down, getting ready, getting bath, pyjamas, reading a story, just general relaxing, and it's just so, it's just therapeutic, and also you get that snuggle time that I don't really get that much anymore because Noah's always on the move and Freddie's 4, so it's not cool to cuddle your mum anymore. So it's just really nice to just like bring it all back down, you know, they're my babies, and we just, yeah, it's just a really nice time. So yeah, I love the bedtime routine, not just because they're going to bed, but I mean, that's obviously sometimes a plus as well, but shh. Anyway, that is my 4 hates and my 4 loves. Really enjoyed doing this video, really liked it. Feeling a lot more confident than I did in my last video, which is kind of nice. Getting a little bit more practice. Let me know. I tag anyone who wants to do this, who's a parent, would like to do this. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more of these videos. I'd love to see what other people loves and hates are. See if we've got anything in common. Okay, I think I'll leave it as that. Okay. Bye.